through paper 2 LRN GCSE ICT paper, and there's not much difference between this paper and IGCSE Cambridge IGCSE ICT paper, because both of the papers, both the LRN and IGCSE paper 2, both of them, they have document production, which is Microsoft Word, and then they also have data manipulation through database or data manipulation, which is Microsoft Access. And then the last part of the paper is presentation, which is Microsoft Word. Now, even though both papers are different in a little bit difference, but both of them, they use same software. I've seen a lot of students, they ask like, teacher, why do we have to take LRN, or why do we have to take IGCSE Cambridge? I told them that's not the problem. The problem is what software are they using. If both of the exams, they have document production and database and presentation, then there's no difference between them, because all of them, they are using the same tools. So what is important here, instead of focusing on the name, please focus on the tools that they are using. And that's the most important part, because regardless if you're going to do LRN exams, international exams, or you are going to do the Cambridge exams, then at least you are going to use the same tools. So in today's lesson, we are going to focus on LRN database. So open your paper with your desired PDF opener, and then scroll down until you're going to find database management or database, which starts in from task 3. Now in this tutorial, I have divided, because as the papers, according to the paper, is divided into 3 parts: document production, database management, and presentation, the last part. So in today's video, we are going to focus on task 3, which is database or Microsoft Access. So let's start. Now the first thing is open your Microsoft Access, and then we will go through the questions. So because we are going to import a new table, open a blank database, rename your database with whichever name you want, and then click create. After that, you're going to find is a blank database like this one. So we don't need this table. Please delete, close, and then automatically it will delete. Now let's go back to the question. It says, using database software, import the file M250 CSV. CSV stands for comma separated value. Now let's import this file. How do we import it? Go back to your database, come to external data. Depending on the version of Microsoft Access you're using, sometimes if you're using the old version, you're not going to find that new data source here. Instead, you're going to find text file. Now, for this tutorial, I'm using 2016 format or 2019. Go to new data source. If you want to import a file, go to new data source. From file, come down to text file. Now, the computer is going to open, is going to ask you, get external data from where? Now, here there are 3 dots in some of the version. Here I have only 2. Please go to browse, look for the file that where you saved it in your folder. Scroll until you find your folder. Double click, and then you're going to find source document for paper 2. Open that, double click, or you can just click and open, and then you're going to find M250 for students here. Click that one, open. Once you open, click OK, and then click next. But before that, you can see here is comma separated values. That means it's a CSV file. Click next. Here, choose first row, which contains the field names. It's very important. Don't forget that step. And then click next. Click next. And then here now, if you are going to choose your own primary key, go back to your paper, check the question. It says, set the roll number as the primary key and save the table. Let's do that. Come here, choose the roll number. It says choose my own primary key. Scroll down until you find the roll number. And then click next. And then finish. You can save import steps if you want. I will just click close. Now, there are two tables we imported, even though we imported only one table. If you double click and you check, one has an error. That means when there's some error we did at the time of importing the file. Please delete the file or the table with the errors and remain with the original file. So let's do that. Close this one, we don't need it. And then delete the one with the error. Scroll down until you find delete here. Yes. Now we are remain with the original table. This is the first table we're importing, even though throughout this tutorial for the database we are going to import 3 tables. Now go back to your paper. Here you're going to find, even though you can just put a side by side, I don't want to put the screen on the other side. Now it says assign the following field names and data types. This part that you see is it has is a datasheet view, and you want to see the design view here at the right corner bottom there, right? You find design view, click there. You're going to find field names and data types. Okay, so go back to your paper and check if there is any maybe changes that you want. Go back to your database or the Microsoft Access, go to design view and check if you want to check to change anything here in the data type. It's very important. You have to follow the paper exactly the way it is according to the instructions they give you. Now, if there's no any changes that you need, continue with the question. He says, take a screenshot, the field names, data types, and primary key, and insert it into your evidence document. So let's do that. Here it says, take a screenshot. Now there are many ways you can take a screenshot, but I like using the snipping tool. Click your snipping tool. Let me bring it here. Click the new. And then there is something like a cross here. Drag. And then release. Now this picture that you took as a snipping tool, please save it. Save. It's asking you where you are going to save it. Anywhere where you can remember them. And then where do you put this picture that we saved it now? According to the paper, it says take a screenshot showing the field names, data types, primary key, and then insert it into your evidence document. Where is the evidence document? Back in your folder, the original folder that we opened. When you're going to open your source folder, there is a file here. It's like a Microsoft Word. It's written RTF, evidence document. That is evidence document. Right click and then open with Word. You can open with OpenOffice if you have them. There's no problem with that. But just click Microsoft Word and then open with that. Now remember, the screenshot we took, we need to put it here in your evidence document like this. Please make sure your evidence document has your name, your candidate number, your institution number, and everything that is needed from you. So that's why they call it evidence number, evidence document after all. So it's your evidence. At least when they are going to mark these papers, they are not going to they are going to print your evidence document and check every screenshot that you put there so that they can mark that one. So let's continue like this one. And then the next question is back to your paper, open. It says question 24, import 250degrees.csv as a new table in the database. So let's do that the same way. Go to external data, or you can just go back to your data sheet if you want to, but go to external data, go to new data source, from file, go back to text file, and then here now you choose where you saved your file, and then which is in your source document. Look for degree or degrees.csv, click that one, open, and then okay. Next, choose first row, next, choose primary key, and then here in the question they say So let's do that. So look for subject code, next, and then finish. Once you are done, close. Here you're going to find this time we didn't do any mistakes. If you want to see any changes, go to design view here at the right bottom corner here. Check if there's any evidence, any changes that you want in your table. If there's no any changes, go back to datasheet view. Just double click the tables. You're going to find them is here. Let's go back to the question again and see the next question. It says, take a screenshot showing the field names, data types, and primary key and insert it into your evidence document. The same way we did for the first question. Come here, go to your table, double click, come to the design table, design view. Take a screenshot this place, save it somewhere, and then go back now to your evidence document, and then you're going to find them. Okay. So the same way we did with the first table, as you can see here, with the first task in the database management, the first screenshot we took, we put it here in the evidence document. Please make sure, again, I'm reminding you, don't forget your full name, your candidate number, and your institution number. That's very important. Okay, let me do that just in case. Okay, I'm just going to put any random number for now as a candidate number and then as an institution number. So that's how it's supposed to be. You can put it in your header, or maybe you can just put it, but don't just forget it. That's the most important part of this exam. So you have your first screenshot, you have your second screenshot again. So let's continue. Continue with the questions. Here it says, very good. Establish a one-to-many relationship between the subject code field in the degrees table and the course code field in the students table. Okay, let's do that. Now, to create a relationship between tables, come to database tools. Here you're going to find relationships. All right, click there. Then Microsoft Access is going to ask you, the relationship we want to create is between which table and which table. So choose. Yes, funga mlango please. Alafu unaongea pia na sauti, unajua background itakuwa noma. Very good. Let me start again. Now, to create a relationship between two tables, go to database tools, come to relationships. Then you have to, in this table here, small table is showing you have to choose the tables that you want to show the relationship between these two tables. Okay, so choose student, add, and the degrees, add, and then close. Now expand both fields so that we can see everything that is there. Now let's go back to the question again, just to remind ourselves. The question, it says, establish one-to-many relationship between subject code field in the degrees table and the course code field in the students table. So that's how we do. It says in the students table is course code, we're going to choose, and the subject code. In the students table here, drag and then drop it here and release. And then don't take a screenshot here. Please make sure you click create. When you double click your relationship, you're going to find here the type of relationship that you have is one-to-many, according to the question that they asked. They said, establish one-to-many relationship between the subject code. According to the exam, they said, establish one-to-many relationship between the subject code field in the degrees table, one-to-many relationship. That's how you know that you are on the right track. Said, if you want to know, let me close this one. If you want to know the type of relationship that you have in the relationship you created, just double click this line. You're going to find here where you see the mouse here is relationship type is one-to-many, and then click OK and you're done. Now take a screenshot, go back to your Microsoft Word and put here that screenshot here the way you see. Okay, please make sure I remind you again, don't forget, I've seen a lot of students, they forget their full names, their candidate number and the institution number there. Okay, so every step you take, you have to put a screenshot there. This is very important, very important. So let's go back to the Microsoft Access and the question paper also. Now we have a relationship between this one. You can save, Control S, or you can just come here, save it. Now you are done. You can open here. So here you can see 3 tabs, one for the students, degrees table, and the relationship tables there. Okay, very good. Hey, my brother, uko busy sana. Kanipa kazi bigi ya kuedit. Okay. Nimeona anapiga hapa pia nakaa kuona. Anataka
uliza.
Unataka tutoke? Alright. Acha ku movement, okay? So up to there, we have completed our first table because you have to take a screenshot of the relationship diagram and insert it in your evidence document. Up to this one, we finished task 3, which we are not yet finished in the task 3, which is the whole of database, because the question still continues. In the next chapter, we are going to create database query and report creation. Now, let's do that. Before you create a report creation, please make sure you create your queries first. Okay. Now, because a lot of students, they're asking like, oh, yeah, the question said generate a tabular report first. No. Here, the question came first is database query design. So we have to make a query first before we make any report. So let's do that. Let's first read the question and then check. It says, filters records to display only students who are studying a subject that contains the word organic. So let's do that. That is in the students table. So go back to your database, double click your students table, open it, and then it says, no, only the students who are studying degree, the word organic, that is a degree table. So I use filter records to display only students who are studying a subject that contains the word organic. That is in the degrees table. So open your database, go to degrees table, double click there. Here in the subject, expand this one. Here you can see the small arrow, click there, go to text filters, come to contains. And then write now or type organic. You can write it, type it in a small letter or capital letter, there's no issue with that. And then click OK. Once you click OK, you're going to find it's already filtered for you only the students who are studying the word organic. It's going to be science with bioorganic, organic and biomolecular, or agribusiness and organic farm, and so long as there's the word organic there, computer is going to filter for you all of it. And then let's go back to the questions. It says, the students who are studying this word are aged between 25 or older, okay, or 24 and above. So let's do that. Go back to your Microsoft Access, go to students table. Here in the age tab, you can see, filter that one. Go to numbers filter, come to greater than or equal to. Okay, click there, type 25, because according to the questions, it says either they have to be 24 and above, or at least age 25 or older. So here we said age 25 is greater than or equal to 25. Click OK. Now all the students who are 25 and above are already filtered for you. Very good. Now, once we're done with the filters, let's go back to the questions. Once we're done with the filters, we have to create a query showing this one. Displays only these fields in this order: first name, last name, date of birth, telephone, age, October 24, and then duration, degree code, subject code, and work experience. So let's create how to create a database queries. Now, anything that you want to create in Microsoft Access, please make sure you're coming to create, because here you're going to find the query design. If you want to create a form, you're going to find it here. If you want to create a report, you are going to find it here. But for now, we are going to start with query design. The same way is going to ask you which table and which table do you want to add? Both. Add both tables. And then close. Expand here just to see everything. Very good. Now we are designing our query. Remember, they said first name, double click, last name, and then what? Let's check the paper. Date of birth and telephone. Date of birth, telephone. What else? Duration, degree code. Come to duration, degree code, double click so that we can add it up down here. And then the last one, they say subject and work experience. Subject and work experience. Very good. Now to check your query, if your query is working or not, just come here to run, and then you're going to find this is your query. You can either press Ctrl S and save it. You can name it with whatever name you want. Click OK, or you can just come to the file and then save as, or you can just click this button here and then it is going to save your query. So this is our query now. Okay, very good. Once you are done with your query, now format the report. Now we have to create a report. The report should have these features. Page orientation set to landscape. Data fits within a single page. Let's do that. Let's go back to our database. Here, remember, we have tables and we have created also a query. Now we want to create a report. We said go back to create, come to report wizard. And then let's check the paper again. The question paper says, remember, your report should also show the same way here. Okay, at least it has to show first name, last name, date of birth, and this information. And then it has to be landscape, and then we have to sort the records according to this descending order or ascending order. Let's do that. Very good. Let's go back to here. Wait, the questions. Okay, good. Now here, at the time of creating your report wizard, you can either add one by one if you want to, or you can remove. You can add one by one if you want to, or you can just remove all of it, or you can even add all of it one time. And then click next. Click next. And then click next. Now here, remember they said descending order, or first the descending order by degree code. Choose degree code. They said descending, click there, and then ascending order by age. By age. Date of birth, and then there's no age here. Yeah, that's the age, and then descending, no, ascending. There's no problem with that. Click next. Remember here they said according to the paper, landscape page orientation should be a landscape and then a single page. So let's do that. Landscape. Next. You can either preview the report if you want, but you can also click the modify the report's design later and then finish. Once we are done, this is our report. But to see the complete report, come to the view, go to report view. You're going to find this is your report view. For here, you can see the page is a little bit cut. This is why they said a single page. We will expand it later. Come to the view, go to design view. You can expand it here. You can just scroll here and expand it if you want to. Okay. Even if you leave it like that, I don't think there's any problem so long as all the papers, all the informations are there. Now let's continue with this part. It says, include the title, Mature Students Studying Organic. Now copy and then we paste it there. Copy this word, go back to your report. Here in the design view, if you want to see it, like you want to change here, Control V and then Control S to save it. Now if you come here to the report view, you're going to find this is mature studying. You see, mature students studying organic farming. This is how you change the topic or the title of your reports. Please make sure everything is saved. Sorry for the background noise. Let's continue. It says, okay, large font fully visible. Use calculator control to determine and display the age of the students. Now there are many ways to calculate control. I'm going to put here on the screen so that you can see every step. And then it says includes the label age, oldest age of oldest students, fully visible to the left. Calculate value. Remember, your evidence document should have your name, your full name, your center number, and candidate number in the footer appearing on all pages. You can do that here. For example, when you come to your reports, come to design view. There's here, you can see a report footer. You can write it here if you want, or you can just use one of the text box here and then put it all your names here. There's no issue with that. There's no issue with that. Okay. You can either create, for example, let's say you're going to use the text box. You can just put here your name if you want to. Okay. John Doe. Or you can just let me write my name. No problem with that. Again, 083 and so on your candidate number, or 123. And then come here to see your report view. Scroll down, you're going to find it here. Down there, you're going to find all your name. Even though you won't see it now, but it will appear there at the time of printing for this one. Or you can just even go to for design view. Click there. Delete this one. Or you can even write it here. There's no issue with that, even if you're going to write it somewhere. Okay. And we are done with that part. Very good. Very good. So the last part of this one is to form a database form creation. So how do you create a form? Now remember, we have the table, we have the queries, and then we have our report. Now we are going to create a form based on the information that we have been given on the paper. The form, at least, create a columnar data entry form for the students table. Displays one record at a time. Includes the following fields: roll number, first name, last name, gender, date of birth, telephone, and email. So let's do that. Let's create a form. Go to create, come to form wizard. Here they are going to ask you, what do you want to put in your form? Remember, if you don't see the table here, you can just click here, go to students table, and then you're going to find everything. They said roll number, double click. What else? First name, last name, gender. Double click first name, last name, gender. What else? Date of birth, telephone, and email. Date of birth, telephone, and then email, and then next. And then here you're going to choose according to the paper. They say columnar data entry form, and then next. And then you can preview if you want to. You can just modify it later, inshallah. Just click finish. Once you are done, you're going to find your form has been created. If you want to see form view, this is your form view. It has your roll number, first name, last name, gender, date of birth, telephone, and email. Very good. Take a screenshot. If here they said displays one record at a time. So if you check at your Yes,
Kama huwa provision aidha free education.
tulizima ile, hakuna mtu alitoa ile samaki zilikaa hapo zilinuka tena wakawakisha fridge.
Huwa mtu anaweza kule, kuna nafasi kule.
Nini?
Fridge mnafai, lakini hata wakusikizana kuhusu pesa. Walisema sijui nani atalipa, sijui shule lazima ilipe. So achana na watu. Wakati hao wenyewe wako tayari wako serious itengenezwe, they will come forward. Umeelewa? Yeah. So your form shows one record at a time. You can even screenshot this one and then put it in a evidence document. Okay. So let's continue here. It says save the form. We have to save the form. Control S. Or you can just come click here, or you can just go to file. Let me click here. You can come to file and then save it if you want to. Now we are done with that part. Now let's continue. The reason they told you you have to create a form is because later you have to add this information to the new record. Okay, but let's go step by step. Now here in the drop down menu for data entry, import the file 2402 country as a new table. Very good. Remember, at the beginning of these lessons, we imported only these two files as a new table. This time we have to import another table. Go to external data, come to new data source, from file, text file. From your source document, choose the country codes here. Click OK. Click OK. Next, choose the first row. Next, choose the primary key, which is ISO codes. Click next, and then finish. Once you are done, close. Now we have three tables here. Very good. Let's continue with the question. Go back to your paper, or you can even just put side by side if you want to. There's no issue with that, even though I don't like this version. Some of the students, they like this one where they can see the question, they can also see their work they do, but I like the full version. So it's up to you. It's up to you to choose the way you want. So let's go back to the question. Very good. It says modify the form created in step 32. The form that we created here in the step 32, it says modify. Modify means change. We have to change something or add something to the table that we created before. It says to include a drop-down menu for the country code nationality. The drop-down menu must retrieve the data from the ISO code fields in the table that we imported, and it should appear between the date of birth and telephone fields in the form here. Now let's go back to the forms. It says it should appear between the date of birth and telephone. The drop down should appear here. Let's do that. First, in your form, double click your form, or you can just right click and then go to the design view. Once you're in the design view, give space. Scroll so that you can get enough space here. Click, drag it down, and then click and drag it down so that we can create a drop down menu here between them. So where's the drop down menu? Here in the form design, a lot of students, they get confused between this. Here in Microsoft Access, they call it a combo box, but in exams, they call it drop down menu. Please click that one and then drag and release it here. Then the computer is going to ask you, what do you want to put in this information here in this box? I want the combo box to get the values from another table. Click next. They ask you, which table? Choose the table that you want to get from. For our time here, we are going to choose this one, country codes. Click next. Click ISO codes. Next, choose here ISO codes. Click next, and then next, and then remember the value for the letter use. Next, and then finish. Once you finish, come here to the form view just to check how it appears. Okay, yes, here. Then you are going to find all the fields here. You are going to find this one. We need to rename this one according to the exam paper, the way it says. So come back to your paper. It says store the selected value in the nationality field of the student's table. Label this field as the country code. Please copy that one, go back to your access, go back to your design view, and we need to rename this one. Control V to release one, and then come here for view to check how everything is appearing. Scroll and then you'll find country code here, so that when you're filling up your information, all the information should be here. There's no problem. You can just adjust it, or you can leave it that way, so long as it is there. That's the most important part. It has to be there. There's no problem if you adjust them, put them in a line. You want a neat work. There's no issue with that, so long as you have the country code and it has the field. That's the most important part. Okay, so let's go back to the question. It says display value ascending alphabetical order. There's no issue even if you leave it like that. Contain only unique values. Good. Because it has ISO codes. Restrict data entry only to the ISO code listed. We did that one. We renamed it. Now take a screenshot of the drop-down menu list. Go back to your database. You can see here. There you can press FN Windows and then print screen, like that, or depending on the keyboard, on your keyboard. Now you can press Alt Windows Alt. One moment, sorry. Alt Windows Alt and then print screen. In some of the screenshot saved, like that one. Click here to share it. Yeah, there's no need for that. Okay, very good. So that's the most important part of the exams. I think for more information will help you if you want a private online course or maybe private tuition. Please make sure you can text me on WhatsApp. You can text me on WhatsApp to the number that you can see here on the screen, so that I can help you out. For more on this, please don't forget to like and follow. So let's continue. It says adding new record using the form that we created in the step 36 and the following student records. So let's go back here. Here you can see the button. Click until you find the last part. Please put the information according to the exam they give you. This TU 0009. So TU 000 and then 9. Good. First name, check exam, Carlos Diaz. Carlos Diaz. Very good. And then male. And then date of birth. Sorry. 16th February. Let's say 16th. Or you can choose any date here. Or you can just write it. Then they say the country code should be ESP. Come to the drop box. ESP there. And then the telephone, just put any number that they give you on the paper. The email, the same way they said Carlos Diaz at Tawara. Carlos Diaz at Tawara. .ac. And you are done. You see, simple as that. Save. Make sure you save everything. Control S, or you can just click here in the button and then you are going to save. Up to this point, make sure verify the data entry that you entered here. Don't forget to take a screenshot of the form with the new record displayed. The new record that we added here, you can take a screenshot and then take a screenshot of the form with the new recorded displayed and insert into your evidence document. Up to that point, we are finished. We are presentation for the database. Up to that point, we are done with database of this paper. Now in the next video, we are going to start presentation, and you can see, because the paper has been divided into 3 parts: the document production, databases, and the presentation, as you can see here. Okay, this is very important for us to go through the questions. Thank you very much. See you next time.